The 28-year-old was held by DHS for nearly 2 days, taken from O'Hare here to Broadview, and then sent off to another facility in Dodge County, Wisconsin.
Oh boy, someone might be in some very big trouble, because it turns out all of that might be a potential lie, and this sheriff's office is not messing around.
Dodge County is not the place you want to make up a hoax about.
Okay, this sheriff's department brought the receipts. We're talking about a 45-minute press conference of pictures, statements, videos, geolocation, text messages. I think this sheriff's department really wants to let people know you don't mess with them and you don't lie about them. So, of course, we're going to dig into all of this, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think anyone saw this coming. So, buckle up for this video because we have a lot to cover. Now, real quick, if you guys can do me a big favor, I think people want to see what's going on here. Make sure to please like this video, make sure to leave your comments, and if you are new here, make sure to please subscribe because we will be covering this case. And definitely share the video because I don't know how many people know that this is happening, and I think people would want to take a look at this. So, let's dig into it. Okay, so let's start with this. We're gonna go over the initial report. It's not that long, but I want you guys to get an idea of what's going on with this story. You'll notice how definitive they are talking about this. Like this all 100% happened, and many people were upset about it. In fact, you might remember when this did happen, so check this out.
Sarah says Sonny, a U.S. citizen born in Evanston, was detained by U.S. Customs and Border Protection at O'Hare International Airport, returning a flight from Turkey on Thursday, March 5th.
Detained with no cause. All she was told was that there was some, curious travel history.
Sarah says Sonny was detained at the lower level of Terminal 3 at O'Hare for nearly 30 hours along with 5 of her colleagues, 2 of which are also U.S. citizens and 3 are green card holders. The group was originally headed to India for a work trip with a layover in Turkey, but the trip was canceled after visa issues came up while they were there. They then split up and traveled to different countries in the region, with Sonny heading to Bulgaria and Austria. The group later reunited in Turkey and flew back to Chicago Thursday morning. Sarah says instead of a routine return home, her sister and her colleagues' journey ended in detention.
Okay, so keep in mind, there are many people who are affirming this story, and leave your comments down below, let me know if you remembered when this happened, because very early on, Homeland Security is like, hold on, this did not happen, and so did the Sheriff's Department early on. Everyone was denying this happened, but of course, there was a lot of pushback, because here we have people saying, no, it did happen, this all happened.
The fact that this could happen to any U.S. citizen should terrify us all.
Family members say after more than a day of detention at O'Hare, Sonny's phone signal was tracked to the ICE facility in Broadview. That sparked a protest with family, community activists, and elected officials gathering outside demanding answers. But her family says federal authorities insisted she was not inside despite her phone's location. Hours later, at around 2 in the morning on Saturday, they say her phone turned back on, this time pinging from the Dodge ICE facility in Wisconsin.
Okay, so let me know if you guys do remember that story, but now I do want to show you very early on, again, DHS Sheriff's Department denies Skokie woman's claim she was held at O'Hare taken to ICE facility. There were denials up front, but at the beginning of this video, I said I don't think anyone saw this coming, because this is not the first time we've seen Homeland Security always say, this never happened, it's a media hoax, and basically it's up to the public to decide how they feel about it. However, this is different. Now we actually have a sheriff's department saying, hold on, this is all completely fake. We have all of the receipts, all of the evidence, and we're going to bring this to court and we can decide how we feel about it in court.
That's right, Cheryl. Today, the Dodge County Sheriff said Sundance Sonny Nakvi's story was made up, and he's demanding action accountability for what he calls lies.
Sundance Nakvi was not detained by ICE at any time. She was not transported to Broadview Detention Facility. She was not transported across state lines to Dodge County.
Okay, so right off the bat, he's also defending ICE. Keep in mind, this is the Sheriff's Department, and he's straight up saying, no, 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 none of this happened. Again, that's why I pointed out at the beginning of the video, you heard people speak definitively. This did happen. We have the proof. It all happened. He's saying absolutely not.
By law enforcement, anyway. She was not in the custody of the Dodge County Sheriff's Office.
Dodge County Sheriff Dale Schmidt in his lawsuit outlining what he calls a hoax allegedly carried out by 28-year-old Sundance Sonny Nakvi. Nakvi's supporter spoke out last month after the Evanston native claimed she was detained at O'Hare Airport by Customs and Border Protection for 30 hours. Her family says she was then sent to the ICE detention facility in Broadview and later transported to a facility in Dodge County, Wisconsin, where they said she was released Saturday, March 7th. According to the lawsuit, Sheriff Schmidt says Nakvi was actually staying at a hotel near O'Hare.
I told you guys they brought all the receipts. Apparently she was staying in a hotel, according to the sheriffs.
And allegedly sent text messages from her room.
She checked into the Hampton Inn and Suites in Rosemont, Illinois for the entire duration of this alleged event. Travel from the Hampton Inn and Suites in Illinois to the Holiday Inn Express in Beaver Dam was done to complete this hoax. She scammed a victim out of thousands of dollars in pursuit of this hoax against the federal government and the Dodge County Sheriff's Office.
During the sheriff's news conference, he displayed what he says are messages from Nakvi at the time she claims she was in custody. One message says, quote, "Going to look into this hotel." Another says, "In the room now." And then there's this image, also shown at the press conference, in which the sheriff says Nakvi was spotted at a store in Wisconsin during the time she says she was being held by Dodge County officials.
Remember, this is all allegedly. I want to put my disclaimer out there, but I mean, this is in public, guys. This is video footage of her walking around at the alleged time of her imprisonment, being detained.
Sheriff Schmidt says this isn't
according to the sheriff's department.
Nakvi's first time lying to law enforcement. Court records confirm a 2019 case in which Nakvi filed a false police report with Skokie PD claiming she was sexually assaulted in a park. She pleaded guilty and did 2 years of probation, and the case was then dismissed. The sheriff personally suing Nakvi for her alleged defamatory claims against his office. The sheriff also suing Cook County Commissioner Kevin Morrison for defamation. Morrison held a press conference on behalf of Nakvi last month.
They asked for Sunny's phone number so they could search the facility for her phone.
Yeah, I forgot to mention this part. Let's go ahead and get to the press conference because the sheriff also goes in on this situation, talking about the press conference.
We are going to go through it first before we make that publicly available. So the press conference had happened on March 8th. This was done by Cook County Commissioner Kevin Morrison. He was then a candidate for Congress. Since then, he lost the election, but this was in the few weeks leading right up to that election. This press conference included allegations of an illegal detention of a U.S. citizen, allegations of a government cover-up by federal authorities and the Dodge County Sheriff's Office, calls for a federal investigation, coordinated messaging designed to generate outrage and media attention. And there are 4 key takeaways that I want you to all have. This video is not evidence, and it is simply advocacy. The claims are unverified, uncorroborated, and misleading. It represents a manufactured narrative not established by fact, and extraordinary claims require verifiable evidence. That evidence, it does not exist.
Okay, so Kim Katie USA actually posted this on March 7th, 2026, and this is going to be the person the sheriff is talking about, and we can get an idea of what was happening at the time. Again, listen to these statements. The sheriff is saying it's all fake.
Kevin Morrison here, sharing an update. We are starting to mobilize people. The story keeps changing. CBV is now saying that they never had her in detention whatsoever. What we know for sure is she was stuck in the same location at O'Hare International Airport for 30 hours, a U.S. citizen born in Evanston. We are now in front of the Broadview ICE Detention Center, where up until an hour ago, her phone was continuously to ping from within the facility. Now, I was asked approval from an immigration attorney on whether or not it was okay to share her phone number so they could search the facility for her phone. They did that. And then within 10 minutes, her phone either died or was turned off, conveniently enough. And then 20 minutes later, they allowed 2 Cook County sheriff into the facility to search for people. Now, this is ridiculous. We know for a fact she was stuck in the same location. Once again, Sunny Nakvi, a U.S. citizen born in Evanston, stuck at O'Hare. 30 hours she was detained there. She was detained with 5 of her co-workers, 2 other U.S. citizens, 3 individuals with Pakistani passports. All of them are from Pakistani descent. And now we're here at the immigration facility demanding her immediate release.
Okay, so let me know how you feel about this. Let's go back to the evidence the sheriff is displaying to the public, and you guys can decide how you feel about it, and apparently so can the court system. Again, make sure to please get this video out there, share the video, like it, leave your comments. I have never seen anything like this as far as all of the receipts. We're talking about every single one. Check this out.
Lawmaker Byron Buffington, and do a nice little long write-up about how he's outraged from beyond. These are the types of things that we as elected officials, that public officials get when media put out information that is not verified. And many times it's false information that goes out, and we get these regularly. And I don't think that the media understand the impact that these kind of stories have on real people every single day. So now let's go through what actually happened. You all saw this picture on the DHS website. This shows a picture of Sundance Nakvi going into border protection at 10:21 a.m. on March 5th. She entered secondary inspection at 10:46 a.m. She left secondary inspection at 11:42 a.m. Remember that time, 11:42 a.m. DHS states, she was not in custody at all after leaving O'Hare. No transfers occurred. No individuals from her flight were sent to Broadview or elsewhere. 11:42 a.m. Shortly after, she went to the Hampton Inn and Suites in Rosemont, Illinois. She checked in at 1:17 p.m., just a little over an hour and a half after she left secondary inspection. She checked out at 1:32 p.m. on March 8th. That's after the alleged detention and release. And I have a witness that has verified and provided evidence of that story, and I'm going to share some of that with you here today. These are text messages that took place during the alleged detention, and they're all time-stamped. At 12:47 p.m., Sundance sends a message to the victim in this. There is a victim here, and also my witness. I cannot identify that victim/witness under Wisconsin's Marcy's Law, the Victim Witness Rights Law, or constitutional amendment, so I have to redact all of that information. But at 12:47 p.m., a message is sent from Sundance to this witness, going to look into this hotel. At 1:52, in the room now. At 4:36 p.m., may I use your card to order some food? 5:04 p.m., going to check out the gym in like 5, just finishing an email. I don't know how to respond to, LOL. Don't know what that email was. Let's look at the guest folio. I blew it up for you. This is the full sheet. I'll show you the details of what it says. The primary guest, Sundance Nakvi, Skokie, Illinois, because I still will protect her rights. I have redacted some of the information about her, but I can confirm that the address is her address on her driver's license, which is consistent with what her family has provided to me. Check-in date, March 5th, 2026. What time? 1:17 p.m., as I said in the previous slide. This is from the Hampton Inn guest folio itself. She checked out at 1:32 p.m. on March 8th. She was not in custody. This is the distance from O'Hare to the Hampton Inn. For those of you from the Chicago area who have ever been to O'Hare, you know that when you're in O'Hare, it takes you a while to get out of that building, right? So if she left at 11:42 a.m., it would have taken her a while to weave her way out, to get to the outside, probably to find an Uber or somebody there to pick her up, and took her 7 minutes to the Hampton Inn. That's how far away it was. Here are some more text messages during the alleged detention. At 4:55 a.m., there was some small talk that continued, and I'm only giving you a small amount of the text messages. There were a lot of them during these times. May I use your card to pay my spa lady? Now, I don't know about you, and my staff have never reported one. There is no spa at Broadview in Chicago, Illinois. I can also tell you there is no spa lady in our jail here in Dodge County. May I order some food with your card? Should I check out? These are all exchanges going on while she's allegedly in custody. I'm going to fast forward to March 7th. This is the morning when she allegedly was released from the sheriff's office here over at the jail. Sundes Nakvi asked our witness to drive her to Wisconsin to help her sister, who you saw in that press conference, who was allegedly having car trouble. He tells me, well, I thought it was going to be Kenosha or something. I didn't think it was going to be Beaver Dam. Halfway here, she asks him, will you take me to Seipel Boulevard in Beaver Dam? And he gives me the specific address. That is the Holiday Inn Express and Suites. On the way there, they stop for gas and the restroom at the Fireside Market in Slinger. Some of you may have seen it on your way here. The arrival time there was at 5:38 a.m. Video was obtained of the witness and Sundes Nakvi at the gas station. Their departure was at 5:47 a.m. Here's a video of the approach. Right up here is the vehicle. This is the victim's vehicle approaching. They roll up, get down to this area. She gets out of the car. I'm not going to waste your time watching a lot of parking lot video because it's hard to see. Let's move forward. This is the inside the restroom. This is Sundes right there. 5:46 a.m. coming out of the restroom. I blew up the picture for you so you could get a clear picture of that it's her and that it is the same clothing you saw earlier.
Okay, so I wanted to let that play out to show you guys how much work went into this presentation. Again, all of the slides were provided to the public if you guys want to go look that up. And yeah, to me, this was a masterclass of trying to provide and show evidence. I think in today's day and age, I think the sheriff knows this, so does Homeland Security, you have to show the most clear-cut evidence. You cannot have 0.1% of deniability that this is fake. And look, again, you are innocent until proven guilty. That's my other disclaimer. The sheriff knows that as well, but I think he's also showing you guys this, and you can come up with your own opinion as far as the timelines that was being reported to us from the media, from other elected officials. This seems to be, pushing back against that narrative. So let me know how you all feel about this, and I will definitely be covering this story. We don't have a response from anyone right now. This is pretty breaking news. This just came out. But when I do get a response, I will definitely be letting you guys know. So thank you guys again so much for being here. God bless all of you, and I hope I was as fair as possible in reporting this story. And please pray for peace, and please seek Christ. Thank you guys so much.